Today I'm going to talk to you about corporate structures in the hope that you'll be able to better understand the basics of how the stock market works. This video will discuss types of corporate structures, while the next will take a closer look at hierarchies in large corporate organizations. You might be asking yourself, what exactly is a corporate structure? Well, the corporate structure describes the way the company is organized. Suppose you alone own a business. Your company is a sole proprietorship. Here is your business. Let's say it's a hardware store. I don't know how to draw a hammer, but let's try it like this. There's the end of the hammer. That's your hammer. You have a hardware store. And you're the only owner. You're the sole proprietor. Sole proprietorship. If you have more than one partner or a partner, you'll be a general partnership. By the way, being a general partner doesn't necessarily mean that you have equal share. You can have partners with more or less shares in a company. In any case, larger companies might be formed as a limited liability corporation, or LLC. In an LLC, you can have almost unlimited partners, each with different amounts of shares. So one key concept to familiarize yourself with here is liability, or who assumes the risk in case of loss. These are general terms, by the way, and a lawyer will definitely be better able to advise you on the optimal type for your business. Suppose you own that hardware store and you're the only owner. Again, sole proprietorship. Let's say that your hardware store borrows money to fund operations, but your sales can't cover your business expenses. As a result, you're going to go bankrupt. Unfortunately, you're a sole proprietorship. You have unlimited liability, meaning that your creditors can go after your personal assets as well as your business assets in order to recoup the money that they've lost in the event of bankruptcy. This is generally also the case with general partnerships. Let's say you and your buddy open a restaurant. Here's your restaurant. We'll give it a knife, looks like a feather, a plate, and a fork. And here you are, you've got your chef's hat, and your partner is the money man. Let's say you own a house, you own a car, and you have this restaurant. So let's say you and your buddy can't pay your business expenses, and your restaurant goes bankrupt. Again, if you are a general partnership, you have unlimited liability, so the creditors can take your house, your car, and your restaurant. But if you were formed as a limited liability partnership, your house is yours, your car is yours, they definitely still can go after your restaurant assets. And the same is true, in fact, of all of your partners if you had more than one. In any case, larger corporations are generally formed as LLCs, as limited liability corporations. What do? It does just what it says. It limits the liability of investors. So, as I mentioned, if your restaurant is an LLC, the creditors cannot come after your personal assets. This is an important concept because it allows people to take risks. If you had a new idea for a product and you weren't sure if it would be absolutely successful, but you wanted to form a company to try to sell it, you'd be much less likely to do so if you knew that in the case of failure, your company's creditors would seize all of your personal assets. Secondly, this type of corporate structure enables you to easily pass ownership on to other people. If we continue the original restaurant example where you were formed as a unlimited general partnership, when you first created your restaurant, you probably had to get a liquor license and a health code check. Well, if you were in that unlimited general partnership and you wanted to sell your share in the restaurant, the new owner, the new person, would have to reapply for the liquor license and the health code inspection, things like that. But if you were in a limited liability situation, all those licenses and permits would pass on pretty easily. So this makes selling things like stock very simple because you don't have to constantly deal with transfer of ownership of these permits.